Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the tavern. On today's React episode, we are going to continue listening to some more Ren music for my renegades out there. Vincent's Tale has kind of put a little bit of a hold on me, so I'm very glad that there is at least two more parts out right now to Vincent's Tale that we are going to be reacting to. The one in this episode is going to be The Bedroom, which came out, when did this come out? About a month ago, so we're kind of catching up from and getting back into Ren's music, which makes me very excited. As always, make sure to please watch the original video, which the links will always be in the description. Our job over here at the tavern is always just to spread more awareness and ideas of music going forward, and I don't know, just to kind of talk about it, because that's what we are. We're a community that talks about music. As always, like, subscribe, comment. If there's anything else you want me to react to, leave it in the description below. And yeah, let's just get this one started. So, I always love when we start getting into this style of music from here, because the last one being Vincent's Tale. Oh my God, what was it called? I just listened to it too. Self-Portrait. There we go. Wow, that was bad. My brain just shut off there for a second. Was so cool. So I'm glad that we get to, you know, listen a little bit more into, hopefully a little bit more about Vincent. So anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and listen to The Bedroom, and we'll get going. God, I love the cinematography. They do such a good job of this stuff. Oh, is this in the jail after he got arrested? It must be. Yep, this is continuing right after he got arrested, most likely. Ooh, like the acoustical difference with this one, because it literally sounds like you are in a jail cell here with just, you know, one amp, a guitar, which you kind of see the whole setup over there. So acoustically, it really does sound like you're in a small room, which is going to make this whole thing feel so much different than the wide open space of the acoustical guitar in Self-Portrait. So this is, we have electric guitar too. So that's a kind of a cool way to do it. It's like, hey, if we're going to have Vincent in a jail cell, we might as well then make it sound more like a jail cell as it is. Cool way to do it. Ooh. And then we got this sexy guitar solo that's going to be putting forward probably the main melody after we give out the blues progression we're going to be using again, which sounds a lot of like standard rock style music from like the 70s and 80s. Oh my God, I love it. Like that guitar riff. Oh man, automatically gave me some chills there. God. Yeah, just feel the soulfulness of that. This is definitely a jailhouse blues. God. I wish I could play guitar like that. Honestly, this kind of reminds me of Cliffs of Dover a little bit, but I think that's just my Guitar Hero days. But I love that kind of sound from there because it's so nostalgic to me because of how rock was in like the 70s and 80s, because this is exactly what it sounds like, especially when you have that solo guitar like kind of going forward from there. It's such soulful sounding. I love it. Oh, ha, ha, ha. The guitar itself is just singing, and that's beautiful. God.
Anger. Have you ever felt anger with nowhere to place it? Vincent felt cold, neglected and jaded, impotent, empathy castrated. Look for the new thing, always look for the new thing, but never look inside, never look within, without, above, below, same thing. Wait, it gets deeper than that. The insane thing is sane men living in insane terrain, contorn insane brains that are kind of deranged, strange, without the factor of cause and effect. Factually, the man's a casualty of constant neglect. Let's start at the start.
Oh, this is such classic Ren. This is such classic Ren. Oh my gosh, like all we have in the background is just the progression that the guitar introduced, probably even really back at Self-Portrait. It might be very similar to it, but like the soulful guitar, the very fast talking poetry from there, stopping at the important parts. Like, you know, without a factor of cause and effect, boom, factuality, then boom, we go right back into kind of there. Silence makes the peace. Like, the absence of sound is just as powerful as having so much timbre in there. And just having a voice say something super important that they want everyone to lock onto just hits on such right chords. And this is, like, if this is going into Vincent's past, which it sounds like it's going to, it's going to be very interesting to see, like the story that Ren has to tell from here. But my God, it is so effective hearing this like classic. I hate to say that this is classic Ren, but it is. It's so good because it just continues to push forward like the idea that the lyrics are the important thing. The soulfulness of what you're hearing between that solo guitar riff that we heard in the beginning and just the lyrics you're hearing are going to put forward what we as listeners are going to hook onto. I'm curious to see how much more absence of sounds he might use.
Factually, the man's a casualty of constant neglect. Let's start at the start. Vincent was born in the dark, home birth to a mother, painted scars on her arm. Track march from the dragon, China white and the palm.
Oh God, and just the way that the guitar parts change here, it's like a descending madness thing. Da, 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 da. And if it's that like timid during this whole thing, like just to see the tragedy of Vincent's backstory, it just it makes you feel even more awful, and probably why Vincent feels the way he does.
The man's a casualty of constant neglect. Let's start at the start. Vincent was born in the dark.
God, that's so clever.
Mother painted scars on her arm. Track march from the dragon, China white and the palm. Shooting up the birth canal, Vinny fell out like yarn. Tumbled out, himself unraveling, and that was the theme. Exceptionally average grade, sprayed with low self-esteem. From the fire to the frying pan, painting it green. When it's the cash that rules everything around me. Cream, get the money.
Again, when it's the cash that rules everything around me, boom, there you go. That's the important thing from there to kind of like note from there. That stop, that pause from this, that pause. Everything is just exceptionally average. But when cash turns into thing, I'm sure that's when things get weird for Vincent.
Painting it green. When it's the cash that rules everything around me. Cream, get the money, funny bin. He weren't ever good at hustling, shitty jobs that he was dead and stocking, started a combustion, nothing. Pulled him out of that, the debt collector's rushing to be stripping him of everything. Eventually, there's nothing. The cycle is a cycle for a psychopath on ice. The day repeats, the days are weeks, the weeks are most your life. When the day's done, it's the same one. It's a repeat, it's a rerun. A deja vu religion, a foreboding of a prison. Whole Britain, Great Britain, how Britannia ruled the waves. We started out with intentions and we ended up like slaves. Drink to kill the tension, but the drinks cost your wage. What helps you is what kills you when you're living too deep.
I mean, maybe this is really what the average person kind of feels like at first. Like, and then when you feel like no matter what you do, society just keeps taking it away from you and taking it away. I mean, with that whole verse, just the very limited amount of chords that were used there just to like emphasize the beginning of a new phrase is essentially the only time you really heard the guitar play just segments, small segments of what used to be there. Is such phenomenal storytelling from here. Like, you have an average person who just was born not the easiest either, tumbling out, like everything just kept unraveling around him. Like, he got getting all these dead end jobs, just trying to survive, and then getting in debt, but then the debt collectors go to pay it, and then it just keeps going and going, and the pain gets more psychotic and crazier. It's no wonder that certain people turn to self-destructive things when everything around them just seems to fuck them over and over and over again. So like how is society when they don't help those who need them the most? And I think this is always kind of the discussion that has always come forward. Those who are those who have very little income, those who have to live without knowing if they can eat the next day, those who have so much pain that they can't even like focus or be or just survive a day without being in just such emotional or physical distress. Like, how do they get through? It's no wonder some people turn to what they do when things get bad. Like drugs, alcohol is the one big thing that helps to ease the pain for a lot of people. But then that just makes it worse because that shit is expensive. And then it just goes into a whirlwind. So I'm curious if that's kind of what's going to cause Vincent to, well, be Vincent. God, you're so clever, Ren.
And so it goes.
Woo!
Then he starts to drink to let go. Soon he's drinking, cause when he don't drink, every day is a day on death row. So he drinks so we don't have to think.
Oh, damn!
Days bitter.
Oh.
When the spirit that's inside of him sinks in his teeth.
And then we take a bridge that takes the concept of blues, improvisation, of just the soulfulness. This is soul at its core right there. And just those high improvisational notes on the top there just hit and tickle the eardrum so fucking well. Oh my gosh. I love when I hear that type of thing and using it as a way to kind of explain, hey, alcohol, this is how Vincent escaped. Like, if he didn't, then he would know he was probably just going to be in more pain. So let's just do this to be in a sense of escacy, or I think that's how you say that word. Just be in your own light fantasy. You know what I'm fucking trying to say. But like, God, it's so well done. It's so well done, and it gives people chills, and it's just, oh, perfect way to do a bridge.
And the months turn over, May to October. More days pissed than the days he spent sober. Skin looks older, demeanor gets colder. Sledgehammer swing to that chip on your shoulder. A cold prison deep in alcoholism. 40% proof, no juice. Inhibition get loose by decision and taboos. When we're living for the booze, who's who he lose himself to? One too many, 1, 2, 3 shots down. Drown those sorrows up in London town. If we in for a penny, we in for a pound. Fate comes full circle. Now it's Vinny boys round.
Just goddamn. Like, there you go. Alcoholism. Because he was suffering so much because of all the debt he was in, probably from all the pain he was in, just from how average things were, from all the debt he became in. So why not drown yourself in alcohol? And it gets back to that soulful thing that we had back in verse 1, just to kind of give that background from there, because like, that's how people have to escape. It's hard. It's hard for people, especially nowadays with the economy the way it is, with inflation the way it is, with how it's even hard to survive day by day. Like, if you don't have a decent job, if you don't make it anywhere, like yeah, of course you don't want to have to think about how you're going to suffer every day, so turn to alcoholism. Even though that's not the way to go, that's how a lot of people escape, and just having the soulful blue thing, which blues was a foundational music that surrounded about trying to survive day by day. So replicating this so perfectly and having just that beautiful, beautiful voice just makes you feel bad for Vincent. Makes you feel really fucking bad for Vincent. God. It's beautiful. Oh, good. So this is like a double-ended thing. I didn't realize that. I should have known that was going to go there. Okay, so now I guess we're going to move on to Richard's tale, which is the police officer. And immediately, like, just hearing that, I heard immediately what sounded like bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? And I'm like, I see what you're doing there. Very clever, very clever. It works. And that's just what you would hear from like the Bad Boys thing. I didn't expect there to be another part to this. Okay, cool. Let's go into Richard's Tale now. Feels like Bad Boys immediately. Which would make sense if we're going to a cop's sense of thing.
Sirens start singing as the screws murder silence. Stand on my Miranda, my right to remain violent. One man's resistance is another man's tyrant. When tyrants make the law, they go to war with non-compliance. Locked up, Vinny been locked up since his mother knocked up. Kitty grew up fast, pulled his socks up, chop chop. Keep that credit top. Time is money, tick tock. Quantify the price upon your soul and then it's chop shop.
God, like the amount of rap and hip hop that it just literally pulled through here is phenomenal. And like it just puts together everything that I expected it to be when it comes to like, you know, a bad boy, what you gonna do? Because it's exactly kind of what you hear from here. It's traditional hip hop. It's traditional here. This is what probably we need to, you know, figure out as things go through there. So it's you can always imagine how the cops must feel like in this kind of like section. So it's fascinating. It is.
Not particularly special. Vinny spent his life a vessel for the musings of the devil. Repetition caused some issues. Turned a hide into a jackal. Building pressure in the kettle. Bubble up to boiling level. Ooh man, he's a mad lad. Falling on the warpath. Vinny split the atom like a Nagasaki bloodbath. Skies are raining.
Nagasaki bloodbath. God damn, we're really going into deep shit over here. But like, maybe this is how the cops end up seeing like these criminals that they have to bring in. Like, who knows what that other aspect or other side sees? What do they have to go through on a regular basis too? And doing this is kind of a hip hop style thing is fascinating.
Repetition caused some issues. Turned a hide into a jackal. Building pressure in the kettle. Bubble up to boiling level. Ooh man, he's a mad lad. Falling on the warpath. Vinny split the atom like a Nagasaki bloodbath. Skies are raining black ash. Copper car lights flash. Red and blue kaleidoscope. Some folks don't like that. Never mind, just a victim of society. The one that serves you alcohol and sells you your sobriety. The one that sells you sex as it pedestals virginity. The one where we elect these lying pests with God ability. 1 to the 2 to the 3 to the 1. Our boy spun his own web-fed tarantulas come like 9 to the 9 to the 9 for his crimes timelines intersect. Rich's fate was designed.
I mean, I guess that's a good thing to think about is like, does society itself sell all of these people to make them who they are? Like, obviously the police are there to try to, for the most part, try to pick up the pieces of what society seems to tear other people down. At least the good ones are supposed to do that, not any of the bullshit ICE stuff that's been happening because they're just being racist ass. Sorry, got into a tangent there. Didn't mean to. But the big thing is like maybe are the cops doing the right thing? Like, they have to try to bring down whatever kind of bad shit is happening around, and it's tough. Like, society kind of trains these people to be these criminals that they have to go in, and it's like a loop. It's like a loop, and a police's fate is to try to make this cycle continue in a sense. It's hard to stop it.
Rich's fate was designed. Just set the scene. It's 2019. Richard and a boy named Screech. The hands of fate, they touch and read. Siblings buried, blood it bleeds. Etched in Richard's memories. Force a model, troubled sleep. Takes a time of absently. Hitting the bottle to soften the blow in the walls of yourself, and there's nowhere to go. When his friends on the force, they don't call, they don't show. Go to therapy, raggedy seem to plateau. When his popo went loco and woe so low that his mojo no mono rebound no yo-yo, and so the time it moved slow-mo. You see the case was never.
That's an interesting way to think about it too. Like, if they have to take a leave of absence because of something brutal that they've seen, whether it is, you know, somebody being brutally like murdered in front of them, a family member dying, any kind of thing like that has got to fuck with their brains immensely, since it's like a PTSD thing. It probably makes them spiral out of control, and like they have to start drinking and doing these like societal things that cause these criminals to be what they are at that point. And it's this weird round robin thing that happens constantly, and it hurts. It hurts on so many things. Like, this is from 2019, like before the fucking world closed. Like, God.
Absently hitting the bottle to soften the blow in the walls of yourself, and there's nowhere to go. When his friends on the force, they don't call, they don't show. Go to therapy, raggedy seem to plateau. When his popo went loco and woe so low that his mojo no mono rebound no yo-yo, and so the time it moved slow-mo. You see the case was never closed, cause the motive was confusing. Orphan killed his sister, but his sister was removed when the mother died in childbirth, but dying womb life brings. The cycle of samsara always was quite amusing.
Wait, is this the same police officer from Jenny and Scratch? Is that what this is? Like, are we connecting both of his stories together here? Am I interpreting this correctly? Like, oh man, that would be interesting if that was kind of the way it gets. If that's the case, then no wonder he was fucked up from that other thing there, because that was another terrible like situation. But how do cops get past terrible crimes that may have never been seen before or anything? Because maybe this is the same. Is this the same police officer who ended up shooting Scratch at the end? Like, maybe it is. I don't know. But like, how do you live with yourself after essentially having to kill somebody? Like, it's got to shake up your soul to the very being. It probably affects everyone else around you too. Like, I understand why they have to take leave of absences. PTSD is terrible. It's the same thing with like when people come back from war. Like, they've spent so many years, months or years like killing people, and now have to go back to societal norms. It's got to be almost impossible to do. This has got to be kind of that same situation.
Brother killed his sister, but the records seem to show the brother never met his sister, didn't even know. So the tragedy was a catastrophe, a fate fucked up. Rich is losing sleep while his whole family's talked up.
God. Just God. It's got to be so freaking hard. Like, I can't even imagine.
The 5 stages of grief is a common psychological model, often used to provide reassurance to all those stricken by loss. For loss comes with a cost like frostbite, shockingly cold, paving the road to decomposure, decomposing your soul. 1. Denial, pretending for a
Oh my God, we're going into the stages of grief for here too, which makes sense with the context from there. Like, how do you get over something like that? Grief can do so many things to people. It's such a actually, before I was a VTuber, I did a whole video essay on like Bajora's Mask and the stages of grief. Maybe I should bring that back. Maybe I should re-record that in my new VTuber body and kind of bring it out to like the aspects of here, because the stages of grief do so much to a person. They can do so much to society. They can do so much to a world. So like seeing it literally take place again and having a song based about how grief, which a lot of people go through on a constant basis, is and just the hip hop style. Like it's not much of the hip hop. It's not much of the hip hop style itself, because it's that same progression of just a beatbox and occasional like synths in the background, because it's all about the story that's being told here. The story is the important part.
Decomposing your soul. 1. Denial, pretending for a while, reality retired, but everything is changing. Richie lost the will to smile. How to reconcile when murdering a child. The 2nd stage is anger, feel it bubbling the bile. Anger, damn the man that served the hand that wrote the plan. If God is will that's good and grand, then damn we are all are damn forsaken by creation. Revelations Richard cannot stand. The 3rd stage is bargaining, begging God for second chance. Lord, I know it is a reach, but I'm begging on my knees. Resurrect the boy James, resurrect the boy Screech. I'll devote my life to thee, I will live a life of peace. Stage 4 is depression, that's a lesson taught in grief. Depression, demonic like possession.
Oh my God, even like I just noticed this, but every time he flips to whatever the next stage is from there, his way of telling the story changes just a little bit. Like, let's actually fully analyze that a little bit, because that's actually like a really cool methodology for how the brain functions as well. Like during each of these, your brain reacts differently. It's got to, in order to get past that grief.
It's a common psychological model, often used to provide reassurance to all those stricken by loss. For loss comes with a cost like frostbite, shockingly cold, paving the road to decomposure, decomposing your soul. One, denial, pretending for a while, reality retired, but everything.
So denial is just the, you know, we have more lower tones from there. We have this like reverb effect happening in the background from there. It's like, this can't be happening. This can't be happening. That's kind of the first part from that. It's cool.
Changing Richie lost the will to smile. How to reconcile when murdering a child. The second stage is anger. Feel it bubbling the bile. Anger down the man that served the hand.
Like when he goes with anger, you hear even like the music start getting a little bit more fuller, more like the texture of it got a lot more fuller. You hear Ren's voice go up a little bit higher, sound a little bit more powerful from there, because denial is like a low phaser there. If you're thinking of like grief as like kind of like a storyboard thing, denial is just that introduction there. The anger part is when we're starting to climb that hill up until like the climax.
The plan, if God is will, that's good and grand, then damn we are. We all are damn forsaken by creation, revelations. Richard cannot stand the third stage is bargaining, begging God for second chance. Lord, I know it is a reach.
And then for bargaining, all of a sudden we start having kind of, instead of it being constantly just rapping and talking, we have a little bit of a melody line mixed into there. Da 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 da, which sounds like he's just kind of reinterpreting how, you know, the melody line, not melody line, the beats that we've been hearing in the background are, and it just, his voice comes a little higher, becomes a little bit more sadder, like it comes more melodic. We're reaching that top point.
I'm begging on my knees, resurrect the boy James, resurrect the boy Screech. I'll devote my life to thee, I will live a life of peace. Stage 4 is depression, that's a lesson taught in grief. Depression.
And then there you go, right? As soon as we get to the depression, voice immediately drops down to here. All semblance of, you know, like vocal of a melody line is gone. It's all just about this low talking, because that's how the body feels. Then you just go into the state where you just don't give a shit anymore, and his voice does such a good job of interpreting that. Oh my god.
Like possession that feeds upon this spark for life. No water is refreshing, no sunlight brings him warmth, no sleep will ever bring resting. His guilt and doubt are oh so loud, the silence sounds so deafening. Depression, the numbing of expression, the negative obsession, ruminating in oppression. Stressing is a lesson when your mind begins reflecting. That's stage number 5. 5 is acceptance.
Oh my god, that flip when the acceptance part comes to the grief and your mind just lets it go. Like, obviously it takes a long time for that, but just the optimistic piano, like the acceptance part that's done so well. Like, cause that's your brain when it finally can try to let go. This is what happens with it. It feels like there's like a sigh of release. It's like, okay, this is the new norm. We got to push forward ahead. And it sounded like Ren was going to come into more of a more lyrical vocal aspect of that to go through the acceptance. This is such a great way musically to show the 5 stages of grief. Like, God, this is wonderful. Like, you don't get to see that often. Like you do get to see the stage of grief in a lot of media, but in song form, it's not as often that people cover that topic, because it's such a sensitive, hard topic to cover that it gets a little messy. So this was done phenomenally. I'm like blown away by how well this is. Yeah, it's just, now we're happy, optimistic. Things might seem good.
Souls get shaken up. The road's never quite ideal. But slow rise, dust it off. And let me tell you something, Richie, man, I'm proud. Cause you pulled a stitch from the seam, the wound was open weeping. Felt like a regression, but that flesh was set for healing. You wrestled imperfections, misdirections, walked with demons. Most demons are a fallen angel, truth has double meanings. Perspective disconnects the trauma, trauma turns to lessons. The biggest curse you'll ever face could be your greatest blessing. Remember, in the darkest times, no need for second guessing. No path is ever linear, a stumble leads to stepping. You're a soldier, a scholar of life's sorrow, and day follows day, there will always be tomorrow when it gets colder. Whatever, it's only weather. Rain feeds the crops, let them grow, think clever.
I'm sorry I just stopped talking there for a second, but that acceptance part is... not a lot of people can reach that. Like, most of the time, grief does help to give you life lessons. It's a hard part. It's a lot of PTSD. It's a lot of, trying to get past it. But if you do, it makes you grow. It makes you learn. And just the optimism of even the message there is like, I'm proud of you for getting past this. This is what your brain essentially does. That's why it's so much more optimistic than everything else. Like, even through all the shit, you were still able to get past it. And maybe that's why Richard didn't kill Vincent this time, because he had learned based on Jenny and Scritch's story about what to do. And this is him just growing as a person. Like, so this is going to be like a new way to helpfully redeem somebody. If Scritch didn't die, maybe he would have been somewhere else. Maybe he would be better at that point. I mean, who knows? But it's such a cool way to think about it. Like, this is just a continuation to that story of what I first reacted to got me into Ren. It's beautiful. It's such a good way to do it.
And day follows day, there will always be tomorrow when it gets colder. Whatever, it's only weather. Rain feeds the crops, let them grow, think clever. I'm so fucking proud of you, Richie, my boy. I know you're itchy, my boy, to get to work and deploy. Serve and protect my Don, in for the right reason. I know you think you've done wrong, but look at who you become. It's your first day at work, big man. Hold that head up high, my friend. Come on. We're all proud of you, Richie. I hope you get out there and smash it. I mean, what could go wrong?
Running into another person. Oh my god. Wow. Wow is all I have to say. Like, that was phenomenal. It's very rare that you get a song that touches on the concept of grief and does it so beautifully. Like, seeing how all of that kind of just relates back to, the like Richard's story, and going back to Jenny and Scritch's and just how he felt through that entire thing. You can really feel like the stages going through it with there. That was phenomenally done. Gosh, it makes me want to revisit my own essays about grief, because grief is a very powerful emotion that everyone goes through at one point in their life. Whether it's something you deeply regret, somebody passing away, things like that. If you can get past those 5 stages, you become a stronger person. It's what shapes us into who we are. And it gives me chills. It really does. This was beautiful to listen to. I am so glad that I am back on the Renegade train, as we still at least have one more of these to go, which we will cover in our next episode, or whatever order. I'm assuming our next episode. So, all right, guys, with that, please let me know what you thought about the bedroom, and I guess Richard's tale at the same time. I didn't realize we were doing both of them in the same video. So yeah, there we go for that one. Like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you thought about this. If you want to help to support the tavern, then give that sub. Think about spending a little bit of money and getting a membership over here. We might get a Patreon started soon, like I said, to give you guys even more stuff. We'll kind of see as we go forward. But anyways, thank you for joining me on this whirlwind of a journey, as always. So, until next time, we'll see you later. Bye.